everybody. Welcome to the September 1st, 2023 Practicing Critical Thinking show. I am your hostess, Debbie Levitt from Delta CX. We are a strategy consulting agency and we help companies with lots of problems. Enough about that. If you are a fan of the Delta CX channel and you're wondering why there aren't so many videos here lately, please know we started a new channel. We want to see you there. So please subscribe over at CX-CC. It stands for Customer Experience, Customer Centricity. Hi, Rajesh. Hi, Ana Lucia. Now, normally every other week we do a Practicing Critical Thinking stream, and we do it based on stuff you've sent in through the link at deltacx.com/links. I only have two things, so this will be a nice short show, which everyone can appreciate. But speaking of people sending things in, a quick thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers. Please join our Patreon for as little as $1 American a month. My goal is to hit 200 a month. We're at like 150. So we'd love to see you join. It's not expensive and there's lots of cool perks in there and additional access to me. So thanks to everybody who's a paying member. You can also be a free member, and that is kind of like being on my mailing list. You will still get early announcements of stuff and be the first to know a lot of things, or maybe the second. So let's see. So that's patreon.com/CXCC. So let me share my screen and let's take a look at the two things that people sent in. Let's see. What should I press? Oh, that's all the wrong buttons. Hold on. Let me press it from here. Me plus screen one. Okay, that looks like the right thing to press. Let's see. Okay, here's how the sausage is made. This is my computer and how I run the show. Now let's flip over to Firefox. Alrighty, so here we go. This was from a few weeks ago, since we've missed a couple of shows with my travels, but I'm here now. So a few weeks ago, Michelle Ronson posted, "Here are 7 reasons not to conduct user research. Not everything is a user research problem, people." Number 1, if you can better answer a question with analytics, use analytics. How often does someone abandon their shopping cart? Analytics can tell you. Now, as I read each of her 7 points, I'm going to tell you what I think of them just based on our critical thinking adventures here. I do agree with her on point 1. If we want to know what size screens people have, how often they're clicking something, and how often they buy something, we probably know that better from internal data and analytics than if we were to ask people where they might not know or remember. So I do agree that there are times that analytics is the better way to go. And if you check out episode 196 over on the new YouTube channel, CX-CC, and you see our new video about the quadrant exercise, you'll see that I talk about this as well. Number 2 from Michelle. If time doesn't permit it, don't rush into UX research. For example, in 2 days, you cannot conduct a diary study about the college application process. I think that's a really interesting point. What I hear her saying here, and please, this is audience participation, so tell me what you hear and what you think, but I think I hear her saying that sometimes we just have to say no. If someone says, oh, hi, Johnny. If someone says, hey, we need a mountain of data that's going to be really helpful and strategic and customer intelligence, and you get 3 seconds, maybe we just say, no, I'm sorry, we can't do that. So if that's what she's saying, I think I can agree. I love to say yes, and I love to try to come up with the study that can find out at least some of these things, but in these really short time frames. I mean, I can barely write a research plan in 2 days, so these are unreasonable time frames. Number 3, says Michelle. Thank you for joining our Discord. Yay, the new Discord. Number 3, if you're only trying to sell your design, don't mask it as user research. That's unethical and largely ineffective. We do research in service to the user, not ourselves. What I hear here, and again, what do you hear? What I hear here is if you might be a designer who might be doing some usability testing and you've fudged that usability testing to make it look like your design is really great, that's not user research, and that's not the right way to go. And I can see how that could be seen as unethical. So I think so far I'm agreeing with her. Number 4 from Michelle: if the research question is too broad or narrow, given the type and scope of the information you need, don't proceed. Right size the questions. So again, this would be kind of a no but kind of thing. You know, if someone says, we need to understand this really huge, broad thing, make sure you've got a focus area that you can concentrate on and you're not trying to solve the entire company in one study. This definitely matches some of the things I said in my book, Customers Know You Suck, and in other presentations that I've done where I talk about make sure you're not being given fluffy demands or direction from people above you. Make sure you know what area of the product or problems that we're going to be focusing on. And if we don't know, we should do research to find out what problems we could solve. Ana Lucia says, about point 1, you can get how often from analytics, but is that enough to have an actual answer? Shouldn't we try to find out the why? It depends. Well, put that up. Where's my effects today? Here we go. It depends. Let me know if this doesn't come off the screen automatically. I forgot if I set a timer on this one. It's still there. It depends. If the question is, what percentage of our users are using screens smaller than X? I'm okay to answer that with analytics. Do I need to know why they're using screens smaller than X? The why might not matter. We have to either design for the smaller screens or we piss these people off. So you're totally right. Sometimes we go and get analytics, but they don't give us a why that we really need. In that case, I would say analytics is not the right answer, or it's just the start of the answer, and we still need the qualitative research to tell us the why. So I think you have to just check, does the why matter? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Thanks, Ana Lucia. Let's see. Number 5 from Michelle. If you don't have a good idea of the type of people you should gather feedback from or about, enough said. I would say enough not said, because I think this does need to be pointed out to people with more detail. So I always am wary of people giving advice and acting like you know what the advice is, enough said. No, give people the advice. Spell it out. Make sure it's actionable. So if you don't have a good idea of the type of people you should gather feedback from or about, what should you do? I think that's missing from here and kind of weakens this post a little bit. So obviously you would need to have a good conversation with your team about how we don't seem to know who our target audiences or segments are and how we need to figure that out and focus in on them. I'm a bit confused with point 5. It's not actionable advice. Yes, I agree. I feel like she didn't finish her own sentence, and so we don't really know what to do in this scenario. But I do think it's something that you need to bring up to your team. Because again, sometimes you see number 5, you see this happen in companies where someone says, well, we'll just test it on our coworkers, or we'll just go into Starbucks and show it to humans. It's like, well, is that our target audience? Number 6 says, Michelle, if you don't know why you're doing the research and how and when the learnings will be applied, pause right there. Okay, but again, what should we do about that other than pause? I think there's more that we can do. We need to talk to our teams about, if we do this research and we bring you the answers to your questions, what will you do with that information? How will this set you up for success? I like to ask this before my research planning as part of the quadrant exercise so that I know that I'm answering questions that people need answered so that the information will be actionable and they will apply the insights and suggestions. Number 7 says, Michelle, if you don't have stakeholder buy-in, in my humble opinion, this is the number 1 indicator of whether you'll move successfully from insights to action or not. User research is a team sport. She loses me a bit on this one. I feel like we hit 3 different topics. If you don't have stakeholder buy-in, then what? What do you do about that? Do you not do the research? Do you fight for that buy-in? She doesn't really finish her sentence here. And again, I feel like I don't know what action to take. I don't know what her advice is. So it can be an important indicator of whether you'll move from insights to action, but it depends. I mean, it sounds like there's one stakeholder. It's kind of rare that I've been on a project with only one stakeholder. I've definitely been on projects that have more than one. I've been on projects that have had 18 stakeholders. I feel like the one I'm on now at my new job has 40 stakeholders. So maybe some of them will use this research and some of them will semi-ignore it. That doesn't mean that that's a failure or that's bad. And as for it being a team sport, that definitely needs definition. Since we are not clear on what that means right now, are you saying anybody can do research? What are you saying? Please tell us. So I think some of this was good. Some of this was not great or not actionable, but there's a couple of good nuggets in here. Looks like she got a lot of likes and some comments, so the post probably did well in the algorithm. The next thing I was sent, and we only have 2 today. Okay, so I'm looking at a giant screen that is trying to sell me how to be a professor in Pittsburgh. Where am I? What is going on? It looks like I'm on Substack, and I finally see an X up here in the top right, and I see a no thanks. Yeah, it's Substack, and we have cookies at the bottom. And usually, because I'm in Europe, I see a different cookie notice than people in, say, America see. America usually sees, you're agreeing to cookies, F you. In Europe, we usually see the power to reject the cookies or block them, and I'm not getting that here. So they could be breaking EU law with that. I assume I can close this box and maybe read this article. Let's see. Dan Safford wrote this a couple of weeks ago. My milkshake brings all the students to my class. Okay, so this is a play on a hit song from some years ago that said, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Why is that a suggestion from Substack? I don't know. So this is an article from Dan Safford. Let's skim through it and see what the point is, because the point sounds like something about a milkshake will bring students to his class. I do wonder why the students aren't coming to his class, but let's take a look. I've been teaching service design solo for the last 8 weeks or so, and I think it's going well. It's a class I inherited. It's a core design class. It's popular and well regarded. I've had a lot of students tell me it was their favorite class they took at CMU, which is an American university. The material and assignments have been honed. My job is not fuck it up. It's now my class. Well, is this therapy? Is this Dan's therapy moment to talk about, like, where are we going with this? Is this something that's going to be meaningful, actionable, or helpful to me? Let's roll that out. Meaningful, actionable, helpful. I could throw it out and teach what I like. It's a lot of work. Well, are we like a quarter through this? What has he said so far? One reason the students like the class so much is half the class is service design innovation for a real client. Last semester it was Penn Avenue Fish Company. This summer it's Alliance Therapy Session. Well, I don't know what's going on here. What is this article about? This appears to be one man's thoughts about teaching a university class. One thing I did want to change, now I have to say continue reading to get out of this, was teaching of personas. Students groaned when we taught it. Personas are cringe. What do we replace it with? Some people said jobs to be done, and I put jobs to be done in the syllabus. Side note, I had a cool experience with the library. What's going on here? I'm going for a very long walk with this person, and I don't know why. Am I missing something? Is anyone getting what's going on here? The first chapter of Competing Against Luck tells a story about researchers wondering why customers at a fast food chain were buying milkshakes early in the morning. So I brought milkshakes to class. Okay, here's the milkshakes tie-in. Getting 20 milkshakes from a fast food restaurant wasn't easy. I put a cooler in my car. They don't have sealed tops. I'd love to do this again. But I'm glad my students had a fun moment in that service design. Whoa! Whoa, what just happened here? He brought milkshakes as a motivator. I hope he doesn't have any vegans or dairy-free people. And evidently everyone gets vanilla. Nobody gets chocolate or shamrock. Hi, Alex. Good to see you. Is it my connection or is the feed breaking up? Oh, no. Am I blipping? I'm so sorry. Ana Lucia, am I breaking? You tell me. You check and balance, Alex. It could be me, Alex, but I did get a new... It's not just you. Okay, sorry about that. Sometimes my internet does blip. I'm out in the countryside. It's better than it was before. We did buy a Starlink, hashtag not sponsored. It is much better, but imperfect. Ultimately, I have no idea what this article is about. I thought it was going to be about service design, maybe, but it appears to be one person's personal reflection on teaching a service design class and a book they really like, and jobs to be done. But we didn't find out if any of this worked. We didn't find out if jobs to be done was a better way to go. And of course, I would be asking, why not task analysis? Task analysis in the house. Has anybody bought Larry's new book yet? What do you mean you haven't bought it? Get out there and buy it. deltacx.link/DR for disruptive research. Buy it. Clap, clap, clap. I would love to like this article, but I can't tell what's going on here. There was nothing for me to take away from this other than maybe people should read Competing Against Luck, which I haven't heard of. Here's an Amazon link. Let's see. This book is it recent? 2016. Seems to be selling well, has a lot of good ratings. Alex, have you read this one? Or usually, where's Karan? He's read everything. I have not read this one, and I'm not signed into my usual Amazon account, so it won't even tell me if I bought it or not. I'm signed into my Kindle one where I publish my books. I don't know if this is a good book or not, but people are giving it great ratings, so maybe it's a good book. But ultimately, I don't know what to do after reading this article. Ana Lucia says, I'm confused. So no one wanted to go to his class because his methods were cringe. He brought milkshakes. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. I feel badly that I don't get it, and I don't get it. Let's come back to a giant me and put your comments up on the screen. I haven't, but I've heard interesting reviews. Oh, Alex, what do you mean? Interesting reviews. Positive, negative, both? I'd love to know. Yeah, so anyway, those were the only two things y'all sent in. We do Critical Thinking stream every other week. All of our other streams are at the new YouTube channel, CX-CC. Please subscribe there. And also note that a lot of our live shows are now webinars. They won't be broadcast live on YouTube. They are live webinars. Go to cxcc.to/events. Check them out. RSVP. Most of them are free. And what we're doing is we're doing them as live free webinars. We record them and they go up for our Patreon members, the paid Patreon members, and you can join for as little as $1 a month. You get them for 2 weeks and then they go up on YouTube for everybody else, but they go up on the new channel. Alex says the content is good but takes a long time to get to the good stuff, so whether or not it's a good experience will depend on the reader. Yeah, that's like when you go to, there's a song I love and a song I love to sing, and I swear it has a 2-minute introduction, and I always feel like, oh, come on, I'm like, pressing the slidey thing in YouTube Music, like get me to the singing part. So yeah, some people will have patience for that and appreciate the build up, and I think some people will not. So that's a really good critique, I think we could say. Let me talk about some of the things that are coming up soon on the show while we take some of your questions and comments. Next week, we will have what we call Q&A AMA. That's on the other channel. So if you're looking for live mentoring, that's on the other channel, 3 p.m. Italy time on Tuesday. Wednesday is going to be one of our free webinars. Check it out. It is not going to be on YouTube. We'll be in Google Meet, so you'll want to check the events calendar for the Google Meet. This one is something I'm writing just for you, and it's called How Metrics Influence Product Strategy. If you've read my book or taken my space workshop, there will be pieces of that in there, and then I might write a few fresh things. Let's see what else is happening next week. Thursday the 7th will be our Patreon only Q&A AMA. For mid-level and higher Patreon level members, you get your own AMA. I did one yesterday and Karen had 2 questions and that was it. But I'm still happy to make myself available to some of the Patreon members. Friday would be a special Patreon member event, but nobody's at that level yet. So what's going on the week after next? Monday the 11th, Larry is joining us live for a special book launch adventure. It will not be live on this channel. It will be one of our free webinars. So again, check events or check our Slacks and Discord in the live events channel for the notification. Tuesday, hopefully the old AMAs with Dr. Nick. That will be on the new channel. I am just landing from a flight, so I hope everything will be on time and we won't have to cancel or postpone. But next week we're planning to have Dr. Nick back. Then we've got nothing on Wednesday because I'm speaking at UXCon Austria. Will anybody be in Vienna for UXCon? I hope to meet you there. Oops, there was a blip. And then Thursday will be the Patreon member mid-level and higher AMA. So that's what's happening in the next 2 weeks, but check out the events. And I have them color-coded. I know not everybody can see all the colors, but check out the stuff. The yellows are live streams, and the tealish blue colors are the live webinars that we're doing over on Google Meet. So don't come here waiting for a show to start. It's over on Google Meet. Ana Lucia says, I'm still thinking about those teaching methods. I'm going to complain to my teachers. No one said I could do that when I took the course to become a trainer. Yes, it's a sarcastic rant. Well, obviously you didn't bring enough milkshakes. That is clearly the problem here. Yes, I got an Arizona State University shirt from my new job. Free shirt. They're very sweet. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Checking if I'm missing anything. I love color-coded. Yeah, I did my best. I'm paying for this new system, not sponsored. It's called addevent.com. You can make a calendar in it, and then people can add it to their Google or iCloud or other Outlook and other calendars, so it's great. You can build in the whole Delta CX and CXCC calendar right into your world, or you can RSVP one by one for the events that interest you, and they are color-coded. Again, it was a rainbow of colors, so not everything's going to be colorblind friendly, but even so, the webinars and workshops are marked in the title with that, and the live streams are marked in the title with that. So even if you don't see color, the information is there. Okay, we are winding down the show. Thanks to everybody who joined. Remember, if you want to send something in, deltacx.com/links will have a link for you to send in something for the Critical Thinking stream. And, I've got the wrong screen for ending the show. Please hold. Oh yeah, it's wrong. It's the totally wrong screen for ending the show, but whatever. It's my background from the other channel. I forgot to put this background on it, but you'll just have to put up with a little bit of visual inconsistency. Visual designers, please don't hate me. I hope everybody has a super weekend. If you're in America, have a great long weekend since Monday is a holiday. But please, even though Monday's a holiday, come on, wake up early. Join us because Larry will be with us. And if you miss it, Patreon members will will get it nearly immediately, and everybody else will get it in 2 weeks. So thanks again. I'll say ciao, ciao, and catch y'all soon. Bye.